Hi, I'm Treva Garcia. I'm a dietitian who started her own private practice in January 2020. Since then, I've built my team so that we see hundreds of clients each month. We have had great word of mouth with our providers and our clients, so we stay booked. So, I want to take you behind the scenes of what I'm calling Private Practice Diaries, the RD hybrid model, where we're taking the insurance based model of private practice, combining it with cash services for the best of both worlds. It's a model that will work both for our patients and for us. So, I want to take you back in my origin story. Not my private practice origin story, but the origin story for my hybrid model. So, it all started with my neck pain. So, I have this neck pain that seems to get worse when I'm running. So, I went to physical therapy, had them work with it, didn't really see a lot of results. So, I thought, hey, why don't I try a chiropractor? Now, I've never been to a chiropractor, and actually, my dad was an orthopedic surgeon, so kind of opposite ends of the spectrum there. But I decided, what do I have to lose? Insurance is paying for it, so let me go give it a try. So I went to the chiropractor, he did some adjustments, told me about my neck, what was going on, and it seemed to help. Went to the desk to check out, and I saw a sign that literally changed my life. It wasn't a metaphorical sign, but an actual sign. And it said, our insurance reimbursement rates have not increased in 12 years. Whoa, 12 years. That's like 2013. They have not gotten a raise since 2013. This floored me. I thought, how are they making it work? And what does this say for me in my own private practice? Could that happen to me? Anyway, over time, I got my adjustments, got things worked out, and then they started offering me additional services that could help with my transformation, like massage, dry needling. Of course, I took them up on it because that was stuff that was going to help me. So, yes, gladly paid for those services. So then, a little while later, I was in my private practice mastermind group. This is where several of us group practice owners get together, share ideas, brainstorm, go through our challenges together, just give each other support. And the most business savvy RD I know is in there. And she started telling us about how she was starting to use a new metric to measure her success. It was a dollars per visit. So she was telling us that all the different service, so she wasn't just, offering this one-on-one insurance-based reimbursement like MNT, right? She was doing that, but she was also factoring in stuff like supplements, like getting money from supplements through full script. She was adding programs and additional services, and all of them were combining to create this dollars per visit number. And first, of course, it started with just insurance, and then she was building it. And what I noticed month to month was it kept getting bigger and bigger. And this started creating some ideas in my head that maybe I should offer more. So then I went back to my sessions with clients with kind of a detective hat on. I started thinking, what services could I offer them? Not only that would help bring in some additional money for us as a practice, but give them additional results. I didn't want to offer things that they didn't actually want. So I started listening in my sessions, and they were saying things like, oh, I'd really like meal plans, or oh, it's frustrating when I step on the scale and I've been working out and I don't know, is it muscle, is it fat? Or they might say, oh, I'm having these hot flashes, what do I do? And so I started noticing things that we could add on, stuff like personalized meal plans, or body composition scans with an in-body scanner, metabolic testing with a Breezing Pro, adding full script to our services, adding supplements that clients already wanted. So these were things that started, percolating in my brain as things we could start offering. So little by little, I've started, just experimenting with them, offering them to clients, and it's been going really well. And I came across the seminar. It's called Profitable Practice Seminar Blueprint. No, it's called Profitable Practice Blueprint. That's what it's called. And I looked at the agenda and I thought, wow, this is something that could really, push me forward, shortcut maybe months, maybe years of me experimenting with this hybrid model. It's made for all healthcare practitioners, more for doctors, I'd say, than dietitians, but I definitely could see how this model could teach me how to market my cash-based services to clients as a transformation, not just services, how to kind of script it so that it's something that they want, that doesn't seems more like an offer, less like a hard push, a hard sell. And also how to help my team know how to offer these things as well. So I decided last minute I was going to go to the Profitable Practice Blueprint seminar, but first I had to talk my husband into it. So he's on my team now, and so it's not just me making the decisions. So I decided I needed to come up with a list of reasons why I needed to go and why he should support me in this. So I went to ChatGPT. I had it help me do a big analysis. And I went to my husband and I said, hey, I think I should go to this seminar because, and I listed one thing. And he said, hey, Treva, I trust you. If you think this is going to help build our business, then go for it. Stop spending your time thinking about it and let's do it. And so he jumped on one computer, got my airline flights all ready. I jumped on the other computer, got my hotel booked, and here we go. Next week, I'm heading off to Denver for Profitable Practice Blueprint. And I'll come back and share with you guys the things that I learned. So all this is percolating in my mind. And I go for my annual physical last week to see my primary care provider, who is amazing. If all doctors could be like her, then this would be a whole different country, a whole different healthcare system. She listens, she's smart, she spends her time with you, helps, co-create a plan with you, and everyone in her practice is the same way. If I could, I would send all of my clients to her, but I can't because everyone in their practice is booked. They're not taking new clients. So I told her about, she sends a lot of clients to me. So I was just kind of updating her on what was going on in our practice. Now all the dietitians in our practice have been coach trained. I told her that, hey, I'm really excited about this hybrid model and I'm going to be going out to Denver for this seminar. And at that point, she took a deep sigh and kind of pulled back the curtain on her own life. And she said, you know what, Treva, that's a good idea because in our practice, we have not made any money. She told me how her husband was working another job just to pay the bills and that they had never taken a salary from this practice that they've had for 5 years. And that this model where they were getting payments from insurance was not working. They couldn't make it work. In fact, they would be better off if they just closed the practice. Wow. This was disheartening. It was disheartening for me as a patient going, oh no, what does this mean for me? And what does it mean for all my doctors? Is this how it is across all the healthcare fields? But then it also made me think of, what does this mean for me as a practitioner? It was that cement that made me think, hey, I need a hybrid model. I cannot rely on insurance like my doctor was doing because it's not going to pay all the bills. So here's my take on it. As a private practice dietitian, I see the writing on the wall. My insurance reimbursement rates have not increased in the last 6 years since I started my practice. That means I need to get creative. And that's where I've decided to do the hybrid model, combining insurance and cash services so both my clients get better results and I get a better bottom line so I can have a sustainable private practice. If we want to keep doing work that matters, we need a new model as dietitians, the RD private practice hybrid model. Join me as I tell you what works and what doesn't. Be sure to subscribe below.